OK, it's 8:44. Still to come, pop legend Anastacia was out of love, of course, but now she's out of lockdown because she's coming back to the UK for her first tour in 4 years here. She's here live next. You're watching Good Morning Britain on ITV.
Top charts around the world in the noughties with massive hits like Out of Love and One Day in Your Life. Now, American singer Anastacia is back for her 22-year anniversary tour. It was, of course, supposed to be 20 years, and then COVID popped up. So you're back in this country. What is it?
Well, it feels amazing to be back. Hello, everyone. But what it is because it was the 20th anniversary, I really didn't have a name for it at that point, because we were just putting it together, and then it kept on being pushed back as everyone. And then when we were going to name it, I'm like, okay, it's so weird to celebrate your 22nd anniversary, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then an ode to my first song, which is 22 years old, I'm Out of Love, we decided to call it I'm Out of Lockdown. Brilliant. So just to give everybody a little bit of a happy moment to just be like, here we are.
And are you going everywhere? What's the...
Yes, I have so many gigs in the UK, and I think they kind of start end of October, blah, 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 blah.
I must ask you, apparently Judy Garland as Dorothy had something like 15 pairs of ruby slippers, lots of spares. How many glasses have you got?
Enough. Enough for each day of stuff. Yeah, I love them for each outfit. I'm very EJ, which is short for Elton John, of the way I like my glasses.
It's a very iconic look.
It is.
Now, when you sat down, we were talking about where you live normally, which is in Florida.
Yes.
You are therefore affected by what's been happening.
Yeah, and it's what I feel like Florida is a very pro-gun state, and unfortunately what's now just occurred in America, and I think it's Texas, a horrible mass shooting, and a horrible amount of children's lives are lost. But unfortunately, it's not the first story of many children who have died in many mass shootings.
And we were just speaking to a mum in Florida who lost her son in one of the desperate
and I just feel like
shootings.
we all, as I believe as Americans, don't want that to happen. I know that they've done surveys where a good 75 to 80 people, or 80% of people, are more like, we're okay if magazines are gone. We're okay if machine guns are gone. We don't think really stuff like that should happen.
Yes, because when the Constitution was drawn up, the arms that people had the right to bear were muzzle loaders. It took like 5 minutes
powder,
to load
the whole nine. It was
now
like,
we've got machine guns.
I'll be back to shoot you in about 5 minutes. So it really is just so antiquated, and our advances as technology and guns have become so beyond our founding fathers.
So if 80%, you're right, it is 80% of Americans are in favour of more gun control, and a large part of that 80% want no guns at all. Why isn't it happening? What is the problem with why does the NRA
we have a very powerful leader of our country, which is called the NRA, National Rifles Association. They run a lot of stuff in America. You don't hear about them. They're pretty much probably as powerful as our president or whatever, but they have a lot of power, and they find loopholes to figure out a way. What they end up saying is that we are taking their guns away. No, Second Amendment rights say you're allowed to bear arms, not machinery that's going to kill and mow down people. The arms that I think you should be allowed is a handgun. I think you can be allowed a rifle if you want to go shooting, if you believe in shooting animals, which I'm not down. But my belief is, if you need to, and this is part of being an American, I'm okay if you own a gun, but a gun wouldn't have killed that many kids.
No. And kids with guns. I mean, this kid who's now dead, as we just said, bought himself on his birthday legally 2 assault rifles, stuff that is being used in Ukraine at the moment in combat.
Yes.
He bought 2 combat weapons.
Yes.
And yet, on that birthday, if he'd gone into a bar and asked for a drink, they wouldn't have served him.
Exactly. Completely confused to why America's so anti you can't drink till 21, but we really think you should start using an assault rifle at 18.
At 18?
That would be a good idea, you know, especially when you're not quite grown. At least 21, you feel like there's a couple more years of
Maturity.
maturity,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely
Agreed.
right. Can you see change happening?
I really wish. I have hope. I have hope, but you know, this has been a long time. We have, I don't know how much, I don't know if I can count or quantify. I'd love to know the number of mass shootings we've had in our existence because there's too many.
Yeah.
And no matter how many we have, what they say is our thoughts and prayers, we feel so bad. And I'm like, you don't.
No.
You don't feel so bad because we can change the laws. But Democrats are okay to change them. Republicans are like, they pay us money, so.
Look, you know what? I'm sorry that it's overshadowed your arrival here, but
You know what? It hasn't, because I really want people to know that I don't believe in that. I'm an American, and there's a lot of Americans that don't believe in
Absolutely.
that. So I think it's important for many people to know that we all don't say, hey, I wanna shoot everyone.
Sure.
Like, but it is a political thing, and that's a shame.
And re your tour, just Google Anastacia tour and it'll all come up and you get all the dates.
And Hoopla. Let's not forget Hoopla. Pride coming up. I'm performing the 3rd.
Oh, it's
Be there,
lovely
be
to
square.
see you.
June
You're-
3rd.
You're a ray of light this morning.
Thank you,
Anastacia.
guys, and I'm
Thank you
so sorry about what's happening.
Oh, no, no.
Isn't it dreadful?
Thanks for coming on.
Right, it's time for Lorraine. See you tomorrow.